HJ, there's a bit of a long one, so bear with. He says he was told this following story from a mutual friend of Vince Russo's. So in 1999, Vince Russo wrote an outline for a story involving Hulk Hogan and Disco Inferno. At first, and I'll guarantee that Disco and Conan are going to be talking about this. At first, this guy didn't elaborate, and I assumed that the extent of the controversy was trying to get Mr. Creative Control to feud with the confirmed mid-carder. However, I misunderstood where this guy was coming from, and the storyline called for the two of them to team up, in quotation marks, both as a tag team and as a gay couple. Apparently, the idea...
Hogan and...
Disco.
Go ahead.
Apparently, the idea was them to appear as and act like a couple without it even being explicitly stated. They would hang out in the locker room and maybe casually mention something about having taken a shower together earlier. They would compete for and win the tag titles as a heel team and enter a feud with the Steiner brothers. The guy didn't say this, but I assume that the idea must have been to allow Scott Steiner to go nuts on the mic about Hogan and Disco's relationship. Oh, and the kicker is, the guy I was talking to was in favour of the storyline and cited the decision to not move ahead with this as an example of bad management and one of the reasons why the company went under. Have you heard of this Russo storyline before? And if so, what do you know? Also, had WCW gone ahead with this in 1999, what could have happened? I mean, WCW may have gone under even quicker.
Yes, that's what I'm going to say. I don't know where this guy... What's this guy's name?
He's identified himself as HJ.
Hey, HJ, why don't you do this? Why don't you put that cup down of wine that you're drinking, or liquor, whatever you're drinking, put that pipe away, because I don't think you ever heard a story like this, because I never heard a story like this. This would have gotten out, surely, especially during the Hulk Hogan, the long verbal exchanges he's had, and Disco Inferno, his exchanges he's had. I do not put a lot of stock in this at all. They were going to, first of all, Hulk Hogan would never agree to be with a mid-card guy ever. How does that help him?
Well, exactly, he did. He was feuding with Billy Kidman in WCW in 2000. Let me tell you, it didn't elevate Billy Kidman. It just made Hogan not seem as much.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's not going to. And when was this?
That was very shortly afterwards, in 2000. So we're talking WCW 1999 here.
Okay, if I'd have been Vince Russo and I had suggested this, I damn sure wouldn't have suggested this after the Billy Pillman fiasco. That was horrible. Not horrible. It was worse than horrible. I don't think it happened. I think whoever gave you this story is full of crap. And, you know, every story you hear in wrestling, while they may be a basis for the truthfulness of it, this is not true at all. And I'm going to say, on a meter of 1 to 100, I'm going to pick the number that it's probably falls at 98. So I think it's can be written off. I'm going to actually forget you even asked me this question. And HJ, whatever his name is, don't ever write back in this program again, because it's full of shit. And if you do write back, we'll see right through it.
Okay. You know that Russo actually did have a gay tag team in WCW around this time, Lenny and Lodi. So maybe it was originally Hulk Hogan and Disco, and they wouldn't go for it. Or Hogan wouldn't go for it, apparently. And then so he ended up putting it on lower card guys. Just a theory.
Okay, if you're going to send me something like that, and especially you talk about Hogan, he had the order of first refusal.
Yes, creative control. Yeah,
absolutely. And he would not have done this, and he would not, even if you got two of the gayest guys, hotter than they've ever been, Hogan would never agree to join them. Ever, ever, ever. And first of all, see, we used to be able to do stuff like that. You can't do it anymore. You know, he used to talk about Agent Street. Part of his whole deal was people was calling him gay and calling him the F word, I guess. And he would act like he would get hot about it. But I think, you know, but what stopped it is he started saying it himself. And they stopped it. Oh, that name doesn't bother him. So But yeah, I don't put a lot of stock in that. I think that's bullshit.